I'm vengeance.
Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you a guest review from a fellow collector and friend named Billy, who has an absolutely amazing collection of statues and art, as you can see in the background. I hope to bring you a room tour in the near future as well, which I have seen a few times now in person, as he's a local collector and always getting in new pieces. So stay tuned for that, as it's one of the most impressive collections I've ever seen in terms of the size and the way it's displayed. But getting back to this piece right here, this is the Prime 1 Studio The Batman 1/3 scale statue. It stands roughly 35 inches tall, 23 inches deep, and 28 inches wide. So this is definitely going to be a big piece in your collection. This is the Deluxe bonus version. It features 3 different portraits, 2 swappable left hand and 3 swappable right hands. So tons of options as far as switch outs go. If you go for just the regular edition, you are only getting the 1 Jim Lee inspired portrait and 2 hands not holding any gadgets. If you go for the Deluxe, you receive 2 extra head sculpts on top of the Jim Lee portrait, one being a Jason Fabok inspired portrait, and the other is a Robert Pattinson movie inspired portrait. As for the hands, the Deluxe also introduces a closed fist, as well as him holding his large grappling hook. If you go all in for the bonus, which can be ordered directly from Prime 1, you'll receive an additional swap out featuring his grappling guns, which he uses throughout the movie for the darts on his gauntlets. The first thing you'll notice about this statue is it's a mashup of comic book and movie, meaning it's not made to 100% look like Robert Pattinson. His body is a lot bulkier. The inspiration for this statue was artwork done by the great Jim Lee, which was a stylized look of the movie in comic book art form. Taking a look at this head sculpt, this is the Jim Lee portrait from the original artwork, which does come with the bonus version as well. Looking at his chest, you have his bat logo, which also was used as weapons in the movie. The suit itself is mainly black, being it's a Batman piece, but you do get a ton of different textures throughout the suit, which helps break things up a bit and add a little more contrast. It alternates from different armored plating, Kevlar, leather, ribbing, straps and buckles. There's a ton to focus on with his suit, such as the darts used for his grappling gun, all the different pouches and compartments on his utility belt, full of gadgets. Here's your first switch out featuring the large grappling hook gun, which comes for his right hand only, or you have the option to use a regular hand with no weapon if you prefer that look instead. Taking a look at the Gotham City rooftop inspired base, it has a large gargoyle with tons of rockwork, textures, with a great architectural building. One minor nitpick would be the nameplate on the bottom. It is not removable, but overall I don't feel like it distracts at all from the rest of the statue. It's very low and very small. Moving back to the building, you have some great design work with the brass framing and ornate design. His tactical leather boots look really good. So now this statue does also come in 2 different versions for the cape. You have the option to purchase a fabric cape or a sculpted cape. The fabric might be a better option if you are worried about space, as this is definitely going to be a big piece. This is the sculpted cape. It's made from a plastic resin, which is good, so it will remain lightweight and no worries about breaks or leans over time. The cape in general looks really great with all the textures and weathering. Other than the cape, with the rest of the statue, you do get all polystone. Taking a look at his pants, again, there's a lot to focus on with his suit and all the different patterns. Being his very first Batman suit, you have all of these different materials stitched together. It has a nice worn look with the battle damage in certain areas. The statue itself is very large. If you are familiar with the Batman Detective 1000, this has a very similar pose, and it is just as big without the large swooping cape up in the air. Okay, so let's take a look at the switch outs. Here's your first look at the store exclusive bonus part. It actually comes with two of these smaller grappling guns, one for each hand. It also comes with two different holsters for his leg. This way, if you have him holding the gun, you can use the empty holster. Or if you use the open fist, you can have the gun holstered in it like he's ready to reach for it. Taking a look at the different head sculpts, here's a look at the Jason Fabok head. It looks really great, just like his artwork. You can immediately tell where it's from, even though they don't credit him for his style. And then, of course, you can't have a the Batman statue without a Robert Pattinson portrait. So here's a look at that. Again, it's not made to 100% resemble the actor, but overall, I think it was actually very well done. The face looks a little more clean shaven and possibly thicker, but it matches the bulkier body style very nicely. I really like how they did his eyes with the high gloss shine. Everything is looking great with the cowl, and overall I think they did a really nice job giving us a somewhat movie accurate look to this statue. Which is really great, because if you are someone who only collects movie pieces or only collects comic book pieces, this gives you the best of both worlds and the opportunity to pick it up for your collection. So now a comparison to the Detective 1000. Both being fabric portraits here. This statue does appear to have a slightly larger portrait, but not by much. They're both looking really great, and you have more comic book highlights on the tech piece on the left with the blue, and compared to the right where it's more black without the blue highlights, making it more movie accurate. And now comparing the two Jim Lee portraits, next to the Hush Batman, it does appear to be closer in size. The Hush has more of a longer face, but keep in mind this is a Jim Lee half comic, half movie representation, so you don't get the fully inspired Batman look Jim Lee is known for. As far as assembly goes, you have the base all as one piece, the legs are another separate piece, and then similar to the tech piece, the body keys in separately. A few of the pieces on his belt are keyed into place, but for the most part, everything is all one solid piece. And as for the cape, you get a nice long key with a peg which inserts into the body and is also held into place by his collar, which sits on top. And then finally, the portrait. Absolutely one great looking statue, and only limited to 999 made on this bonus version. Definitely one worth picking up for the collection. Thanks so much for watching today. Let me know down below what you think of this one today, or if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you like these videos, please give them a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again to Billy for providing this footage for the review, as well as his thoughts on the piece. Overall, he was very happy with it, other than the small nitpick of the nameplate. If you yourself at home watching are ever interested in doing a guest review for the channel, feel free to contact me. My info is down below in the description. Thanks for watching, and take care.
I'm vengeance.